Hey, and welcome back to my channel. Thanks for coming back. If you were here last week, we talked about the 8,760 hours that take place every year and how I intend to utilize those hours. And for those of you that are new, I'll link that in the show notes down below. One of the key areas that I focus on this year, or that I'm planning on focusing on this year, is rest and sleep. And I found out this week that it keeps showing up over and over again. I have found that when things keep showing up for me time and time again, it becomes really important for me to pay attention and take note. So once I made the decision to incorporate more rest and more sleep, more sound sleep into my daily schedule, it started showing up everywhere. It showed up in my astrology reading, it showed up in the information that I learned from my human design, and it showed up in just random other areas where it was reminding us through social media to stop and take a rest. And so though I intended to talk about organization and mental space, I felt like there was some kind of call or some kind of indication that this needed to be shared today. The thing is that we are cyclical beings, women in particular, but men also. And in that cycle, we need to pay attention to both what we're doing when we're in action and also what we're doing when we're not in action, when we're at rest. And in this culture, in this time and day and age, we spend so much time going after what we want. It's a go, go, go culture where we forget to pause and actually account for the need for slowing down and resting. When we are in hustle culture, there really isn't praise for being the people that slow down and rest. In fact, there's words associated with going a little bit slower, like lazy. It's really interesting as I continue to learn about human design to figure out that each of us has our own way of bringing forth our aura into the world. And one of the things that really stood out for me is that I am a generator and intended to respond. But in order for that response to be positive and wholehearted and like from a place of joy, I also have to pay attention to resting. And so I wanted to talk about 3 different ways to incorporate rest into your everyday life. First is to intentionally schedule time in your schedule for rest. For me, that looks like every hour stopping from my desk. I work from home, so getting up from my desk and walking around. I can go pet my dog, I can go cuddle my kiddo, whatever that is. But I use rest as an indicator every hour to step away from work and do a little bit of not work-related me stuff, which for me is difficult. That means that I can't also do housework stuff, or I can't also run and, really quickly make a meal. I don't count that as my rest. The rest is the parts where I am intentionally doing nothing. Another way that I incorporate rest, I go for walks 2 to 3 times a day. In the morning, I take the dog for a walk. I try to do a lunchtime, noontime walk, and an evening walk before the sun goes down. Here's the catch. I used to take these walks and listen to a podcast or an audiobook. Now, in order to actually incorporate rest into it, I bring my phone with me for safety purposes, but I don't listen to my phone while we're walking. I use that time as almost like a walking meditation or an intentional time with my pup, or just an opportunity to enjoy some fresh air and sunshine. The third and final way that I incorporate more rest is I have an hour at the end of every day. He knew I was talking about him. The third and final way that I incorporate more rest is I schedule an hour every evening where I completely shut down screens. I don't have my phone out. I don't have my iPad out. Even though I have a lot of my books on my Kindle, I try not to even use my Kindle, but actually read real books and journal in my journal with real pens. So I put away all screens and spend the last hour before I go to sleep actually letting my body downregulate from all the blue screens and all the blue lights. I'm really looking forward to getting a red light to further counteract or counterbalance the blue lights from the rest of the day. I work from home, so I have my phone and or my computer on all the time because my work requires it. So I would love it if you let me know down in the comments below how you plan on incorporating more rest into your day. And it would really help me out if you gave this video a like so that we can spread the news and let more people know that this channel is available. As I mentioned, if you haven't already checked out the 8,760 hours and how I'm planning to use my day, I'll place that in the show notes below. And thank you again so much for showing up and being part of our little community. Bye.